Hi, welcome back to another video. My name is Bronwyn and this is my channel. I talk primarily about books and every other week I do a vlog. This week is both. It is a reading vlog of It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. My most watched video has about 350 views and it is my It Ends With Us reading vlog by Colleen Hoover, so if you haven't watched that, you should watch that first. I decided I would do this one because this is going to be a huge book now. When you get a paperback, if you don't want the spine to crack, you go like this, you spread it at the side, and then you go like that, and then do it on the other side, and then you keep going until you reach the middle. So I'm just going to do that while I talk to you. I got this in the mail yesterday, noon now, and I'm basically dedicating my entire day to reading this, but I know that this book is from Lily and Atlas's point of view. I have not yet decided if this book vlog will contain spoilers. I think I'll just know in the moment, so I will tell you that now. But I'm excited to read this. My friend read it and she said that it wasn't very good, but the end was okay. And I know I didn't watch, but I saw another video that said reading It Starts With Us so you don't have to. I'm like, is it really that bad that people don't like it? Which is disappointing because It Ends With Us was huge and still is, and a lot of people love it. So if It Starts With Us sucks, that Colleen Hoover's gonna have a lot of very disappointed fans on her hands. I'm by no means a huge Colleen Hoover fan. I've read 3 of her books, It Ends With Us, Ugly Love, and November 9, so this will be my 4th. So my phone just ran out of storage, so I have no idea how this video is gonna go. We're saying goodbye to Taylor Swift, and I'm putting on my instrumental playlist that I like to put on while I read, and I'm going to start. Also, the texture of this book is super weird. It's like that shiny, kind of sticky stuff, but it is a floppy paperback, so we love that. Chapter 1, Atlas. Here we go. Yes, 2 restaurants. That's cool. Good job, Atlas. I feel like I should have reread It Ends With Us today and read this tomorrow or something like that. Lily! What's up with you? How you doing? When he hugged me, it felt like a part of me that had been dormant suddenly sprang to life. Where's my annotating kit? I regretted not annotating It Ends With Us. I am annotating this one. This is a bad angle. Okay, so here's my annotating kit. In this pencil case that I got for my birthday. In it, I have black Muji pen, this black pen, these Sharpie highlighters that have the clear thing, a whole bunch of sticky tabs, and more sticky tabs. I don't even really use the sticky tabs though. I've never used them. Maybe I should. I don't know. Right now I'm just going to stick with those. I'm going to go to this page and I'm going to take each color Sharpie, draw a little square, and then right next to it what it represents. So pink is going to be romance. Yellow is going to be just quotable, general, and this is going to be either important for the plot or other. So yeah, that's what I tend to do with these colors. That's what I did when I annotated Anne of Green Gables. I'm not going to be going super into depth. I'm not going to be writing in the margins or anything, but I will be highlighting. So yeah, Sue's phone ran out of storage again. Did she regret that elopement? Well, does the fact that her husband was abusive and she's scared of that relationship and had to get out because it's toxic have anything to say about that? Everything fades away when you're with him. All your problems. Because Ryle fades away. And he is all of your problems. The Ellen letters are back. I didn't skip them. I know some people did in the first book, but I don't believe in ever skipping anything in a book. I wanted to. They were boring. I appreciated hearing about her and Atlas, but the format and talking to Ellen, it was weird. And who writes a diary or a letter like that? I wonder if she calls her Emmy or Emery. Emery sounds weird. Emmy. Guess who's back? Me. And Atlas. Both of us. Yeah, okay, so she calls her daughter Emmy. Oh, now we're doing the whole, for those of you who have taken way too long from reading the last book, here's the plot of the last book. I hate these chapters. Sometimes the hardest decisions a person can make will most likely lead to the best outcomes. Most likely. I appreciate that. So she's saying that it's difficult to see Ryle, and she said, I'm going to try and quote this directly, "He still possesses all the good qualities I fell in love with, and now that I'm no longer in a relationship with him, it's rare I see the negative side that ultimately ended our marriage." That would be difficult because the reason they broke up was because they were in a relationship, which made it difficult for him to see her with others, and he became protective and other complicated, terrible stuff. With them not being in that same type of relationship, she's not seeing that side of him because they're not in the situations where it would come out. So I feel like it would be frustrating to not try and find your way back to him because she's not seeing those poor personality traits or qualities on display all the time anymore. Now she's only seeing the best parts of him. Now we're talking about why he still gets to visit or Emerson still gets to visit him. Sorry. And it's saying that she wanted sole custody of Emerson. His lawyer put up a fight, and she said, like, I could have told them about the domestic violence that I faced at your hands, but I chose not to because I didn't want to do that to you. And then I think her lawyer said something like, it's very rare that a willing, successful father without a record who provides financial support would have any sort of rights removed, even if she brought up the domestic violence. Stupid frickin' patriarchy still wants them to be a thing. Dude, you pushed her, assaulted her, abused her, other things. Just, no, not happening. I'm literally 14 pages in. I'm so frustrated with Ryle already, and he hasn't even really, like, been in the story yet. You're right, he doesn't freaking deserve any of your concern. Aw, no, don't make decisions based on him. He's a jerk. Here's the things. Colleen is using the Ellen letters as a way to show us what Lily is thinking, to have Lily tell us what she's thinking without it being weird. But she's also writing letters to Ellen telling her the most intimate of her thoughts. So I don't know if she's really being successful at not making it weird. I don't really know what the alternative would be. Just her writing from the third person as opposed to first. His friend is saying, like, you really said we finally reached the shore? That's ridiculous. And I'm like, because that was, like, the last line of the book. And the last lines of books are so, like, profound and, like, definitive as of an ending. But no one talks like that. No one would actually say that. Who's Theo? What is going on here? He's getting advice on his love life from a 12-year-old. I appreciate that this 12-year-old wants to be a therapist when he grows up. I don't like how comfortable Atlas is at her house. I mean, I want them to have a healthy relationship. He also has to understand that the way he treated her wasn't okay, and you can't just be forgiven. Don't reach out and brush something off her cheek. That's a sign of, like, affection and tenderness. No, I don't need that from you. And by I mean Lily. No! Do not modify these custody arrangements. Give her freaking key back. It's her apartment. Does she have a key to your apartment? I don't know. If she does, then maybe this is fair. But if she doesn't get a key to his apartment, he shouldn't have a key to her apartment. The fact that he can't have his kid overnight until she can talk so that she can tell her mom if something happened, that's terrible. That's so bad. Ryle's the one with doing the graffiti. The parents that are like, I treated you terribly in your youth, but now that we're grown up and you have a job and I'm broke, maybe you want to give me a little compensation? For what? What happened to his dad? Did his dad die? I don't really remember what happened there. I agree. Get a therapist who is at least a teenager. Ryle, there's no hope for you. I'll go flower the flowers. Smooth. How many pages are in this book? 320. I didn't know how rare men like Atlas were, so I didn't know how lucky I was to have him in my life. What do you mean men like Atlas? Good men? Men who accept the fact that you write letters to Ellen? Men who don't domestically abuse you? What are your standards here? The fact that you have to hide him from him just shows how toxic and, like, obsessive and not protective, because that's a bad choice of word, but I needed a thesaurus to come up with a new one. Ryle is of her, and it's just not healthy or good in any way. I mean, I assume he wouldn't blame you for your ex-husband's toxic tendencies. I'm falling off the bed. Okay, I need to turn How to Train Your Dragon now, because I can't focus with it playing. I like Theo. Theo is, like, my favorite character right now. But also Atlas, just the way he is with him, and showing that he'd probably be good with Emerson. I want Emerson to wake up. Like, I want to, not that I'd be interacting with the child, but I want to see this child. And I have a dog toy here. I don't have a dog, but I completely forgot it was there and that made noise. I'm not gonna be able to concentrate if I have Test Drive from How to Train Your Dragon playing on. Like, it's just not possible. Epic song. Absolutely superb. Okay, this is Atlas talking about how Ryle treated, what's-her-face. It's one thing to dislike someone for how they treat me, but it's an entirely different kind of anger when the person I admire most in the world is mistreated. Okay, I'm liking Atlas, because the thing about the last book that made it so I wasn't on Team Atlas was that, I felt like we didn't really see him except for in the Ellen letters, and we were kind of seeing that through the filter of Lily being absolutely head over heels in love with him and 16. I appreciate seeing him now without her input on what he's doing. I love Theo. Theo is great. No, wait, what? He lied to her about when he moved away. He said that he was moving in with an uncle, but he was lying. He didn't have someone to move in with. He just didn't want her to worry about him. Bro, how much of your relationship was lies? I feel like Colleen's mentioning that he would get Anyway, crap, what was I saying? Oh, Colleen Hoover is mentioning that Atlas would want to get, got TikTok, got sucked in. Lily wants to see it make a TikTok. I think she's doing that because It Ends With Us got so huge on Book Talk that she's kind of like paying homage to that. That's what I assume. Because why would you name drop TikTok like that? I have no words. I haven't said anything for I think the last 5 minutes of this video that I'm gonna have to edit. You have no idea that I haven't said anything. I don't know, I'm on chapter 11. They're going on their date now. I don't really know what the effect is gonna be. Oh, what if Ryle was at the place where they're going? That would be interesting. I mean, I don't know why he would be there. So he was saying that he smells like garlic, but then she's already said that he smells like garlic a few times. So instead of saying once more that he smells like garlic, she said that he smells like he's afraid of vampires. And I feel like I like that because one of my biggest pet peeves in writing is people overusing terms or words. So I like finding when authors find other ways to say the same thing. I'm dissecting this as a reader, like, writer who does not write. Okay, I'm at their first date, and it's very cute because she fell asleep and he read the letter, and that's just adorable. Also, my goal is to just read this to the point where I don't need to use a bookmark. Because so far I've been pretty good. I haven't had to use a bookmark. I put it like this because I left to go to the washroom at one point. But other than that, I've just been sitting here reading for like the last 2 hours. I'm on page 88, listening to How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. I'm pretty sure this is the most depressing song of the entire trilogy. She doesn't know that her therapist is a 12-year-old. They both had to grow up in such terrible environments. No! This song is so sad. I hate bad parents. It would be weird if I was like, I like bad parents, but like, this is so tragic. It's like, their lives are so sad. Just let them have each other. Let them have this one happy, comforting thing in their lives. This line is so sad. Okay, so he's still talking to Lily and he goes, "You were the first person in my life to show an interest in who I was as a human." Are you kidding me? That's so sad. You had people in your life and no one looked at you like you were a human. Or, like, not like you were a human, but like, appreciated who you were. My AirPod just died. You're my favorite person. My philosophy, marry/date your favorite person. It makes the most sense. This just perfectly describes what I feel like everything I've been trying to say about her and Ryle versus her and Atlas. I've experienced the lowest of lows with Atlas, and he has never been anything but incredible and respectful to me. Yet the man I chose to be my husband somehow disrespected me in ways no one deserves. All while we were at such a high point in our lives. She was at her highest point and he treated her miserably. They were at their lowest points and treated each other incredibly. Hot chocolate. No! My AirPods just died. Aww. No! Chelsea told me what's gonna happen. I'm gonna set the scene. We're walking to math class and she said, "Okay, can I tell you something?" And I was like, "Sure." She's like, it starts with us. And I was like, "Okay, but don't spoil it." And she's like, "Oh, I know. It's not really a spoiler, but like kind of." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, he pushes her up against a balcony. And I'm like, that's not okay. But she said it wasn't a spoiler. Now, it just said, he nudges his head upward, indicating he wants to speak to me on the rooftop balcony. Now I know what's gonna happen, and I'm not okay with it already. I don't want anything to happen here. Ryle just realized, like, made the connection of why Emerson's middle name is Dory. She didn't even name her Dory because of the connection with Atlas. She named her Dory because Dory was her favorite character and inspired her long before she met Atlas, and Ryle's making it this huge thing, but they're also on the roof, which terrifies me because he's pushed her downstairs. Yeah, but she keeps saying, like, in her head or to the reader that, like, Dory inspired her before she met Atlas, and that she admired Dory's strength and hopes that Emerson is strong as well, and stuff like that. And I'm like, say this to Ryle. I don't know if it'll help, but I just want him to have all the information. It's not even a miscommunication trope at this point, but I just don't want it to be. I may not be perfect, but I don't deserve to fear for my life every time I make a mistake. Good Lord. No, you shouldn't be fearing for your life. It's not even a mistake. You named your daughter something that was important to you. Her first name is the name of his dead brother. Like, these aren't even, like, on the same level, I don't think. Can he just not be here? It upset me to find out that her daughter's middle name might have been something you chose to deliberately hurt me. Why would she have chosen her daughter's middle name to be something to deliberately hurt you? Like, have you met her? She's not gonna do that. I don't like this. Move away from her. No. I hate that there are people like this in the world, and the fact that people have to go through that. I don't know if every move I make is the right one, but I'm doing my best. Something everyone in the entire world can relate to. I don't need his manipulation and gaslighting on top of that. Something I wish fewer could relate to. Can we just say that, like, she should have divorced him just for the fact that his name is Ryle? What kind of name is that? Ryle is a stupid name. And I mean, my book is filled with fantasy and dystopian books with weird names. But like, Ryle, this isn't even dystopian. It's just, this isn't dystopian or fantasy. This is a contemporary romance. Like, it's not like it's in like Keeper of the Lost Cities and then Ryle showed up at school along with Keef and Fitz. Like, if Keef or Fitz showed up in the real world, I'd be like, that's a stupid name. But they're in this superb book, Keeper of the Lost Cities Legacy. So if you don't know, this is my favorite Keeper of the Lost Cities. Moving on, we're talking about this book where Ryle is a stupid name. Society has obviously been worshipping the wrong heroes this whole time because I'm convinced it takes less strength to pick up a building than it does to permanently leave an abusive situation. Mic drop. Marshall is also great. It's only been about 13 or so years since I've seen her last. She's your mother. No. Most people, like, the longest they go between seeing their parents might be a month if you have a healthy relationship with them. His mom just revealed that he has a little brother and is like, why don't you remember this? And he's like, he moved away 13 years ago. Like, what are we not getting at here? Or better yet, she kicked him out. But I'm pretty sure that Josh is the one doing the graffiti and vandalization of Atlas's place, and he's mad at Atlas for leaving him with the mother, because his mother is probably selling propaganda at him. Wow, that was a horribly worded sentence, but you get what I mean. She just said, you drive 5 miles just to give me a hug, and he said, I'd run 5 miles just to give you a hug. I wonder what their love languages are. Also, Chelsea showed me a post on Instagram that said, like, read with doors closed, chapters 22 and 28, which means those are the steamy chapters. So she's like stressing right now, and I'm like, dude, it's chapter 14, nothing's happening. She decided to bring Emmy to Atlas's, so like that's a step, and it's important because like she wasn't going to bring her there. I don't really know. Ryle didn't hurt her, which is thank God, but he's so frustrating. Why can't he just be gone? I don't want him here. This is small. This is not important. I'll tell you what's happening in the story in a second, but Atlas just said, maybe I should give Ryle Theo's number. It sounds like he could use a therapist. I'm like, it's been like a recurring joke that Theo doesn't have a phone, therefore no phone number. It would have been better, he'd said, maybe if Theo had a phone, I could give him his number. Like, it's so minuscule of an, a difference. He doesn't have a phone to give a number. Like, it's not important to the story, I'm just pointing it out, and I don't know why. Wait, what just happened? Oh, Ryle sent Lily, like, threatening texts in the middle of the night, and then showed up at her place of work at the flower shop, and she was terrified, rightfully so, and said that she sent the text to her lawyer, proceeded to leave in a fury, show up at Atlas's place of work, the restaurant, and punch him, and is now basically venting to him. So that's what's going on right now. I want Atlas to freaking leave. I'm not one to swear. I really want to, because freaking Ryle just said, when things don't work out between the two of you and Lily needs somewhere to run, I'm not picking up the pieces this time. When did you pick up the pieces? When has she ever run to you? Really, it should be Atlas saying this, except for Atlas would always pick up the pieces because he loves Lily. Ryle has never been there for her. Well, sort of, but like, not right. Atlas and Lily were just talking about like their timeline, which I appreciate. So apparently the last 258 pages of the book have taken over the place of 40 days. They're planning to move into with each other in 6 months. I don't know if it's from now or from the beginning of those 40 days, so the beginning of this book. And then he's allowed to propose in a year/year and a half from right this moment in the book. And I just appreciate they know they're getting married. They know they're getting married soon, but they know they need to. She knows she needs to wait for Emmy's sake and Ryle and whatever. And she's stopping living her life for Ryle. Words. I can draw a seedling with 2 tiny branches. Yours and mine will be our own brand new tiny family tree. One that starts with us. I am highlighting that in yellow. The last book ended. Okay. The last book part ended with the line "it ends with us," and then the epilogue had more. This one has "it starts with us," and there's still a decent amount of pages left, but she still put "it starts with us," and in the last book "it ends with us," which I appreciate when authors put the title of their books in the book. I don't like when it's the last line. It's a couple months later now. Like, why did I talk like that? Good lord. Josh decided to stay with Atlas, which, I mean, we all saw it coming. And Sutton, or Atlas's mom, agreed to be civil. Love that. And now they're in a good relationship, and he just gave her a letter that she's now reading in her office supply closet. Wait, is he gonna propose? What? They've been dating for a year and a half, and that's when they said he was gonna propose. This letter is 7 pages. Not front and back, just 7 pages. Of him just proclaiming his love for her. Professing his love for her? Confessing. Professing. What's the right word? One of those 3 words that I just said is what's going on right now. And he's saying about the first time he fell in love with her and whatever. And you know when people like get down on one knee and make like a big speech when they propose? This is basically that, except for in a letter form, which is very true to them and their relationship, because that's what they do. They write letters. And I appreciate that. I don't know what the quality of this video is going to be, but I'm recording on my laptop now. Also, the camera is reversed, which is so weird to me, because it is reversed on my phone, but it's a much smaller scale. I have like 2 chapters left. He's gonna propose to her in this chapter, or the next. But he said a year and a half. He's proposing to her by the end of the book. Might be how the book ends. Wait, but I thought it had been a year and a half. Are you freaking kidding me? I read this wrong. So here it says, but we have officially been dating for half of an entire year. I thought it said a year of, like, an entire year and a half. I thought he was proposing to her here. He's asking her to move in with him. This was a 7-page letter for him just to say, it's been 6 months, move in with me. Are you kidding me? What? I thought he was proposing. What is he gonna do when he actually proposes if this was him asking her to move in with him? They're so cute. Wait. Okay, wait. I'm confused about the timeline here. Because "it ends with us" timeline was so confusing. But here it did say, basically right at the beginning of this time skip, that it was 6 months later, and now I think it's the same amount of time. Yay! He got custody of Josh. I love that Emerson, or Emmy, I don't really know what I've been calling her, loves Atlas. Like, she just trusted him immediately and, like, fell asleep on him. And now whenever she sees him, she, like, lunges for him. I like that. I appreciate it. I've said I've appreciated a lot of things in this video. They're so cute. I love them. They're so cute. I haven't highlighted anything in so long. I'm barely highlighting anything. I think this is my last chapter. Oh, second last. We end in Atlas's point of view. This dude's rating of Finding Nemo it was pretty funny considering it started with the brutal slaughter of all the caviar. Are they gonna be a thing? I feel like Josh and Theo are gonna be a thing. It's a pride parade! Theo's going to a pride parade! Yes, 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 yes! And Josh wants to go with them because they're gonna be a thing. I think I'm calling this right before it happens, but I was gonna call it like when they met. Maybe they're not gonna be a thing. My BeReal just went off. Do I? Okay, I'm gonna take a BeReal of me recording myself. and caption it filming a reading vlog, because that's what I'm doing. Time to be real. Okay, I posted my be real. Back to reading. She just said that it's like Atlas chose this house specifically for the garden just in case she came back into his life, and that of course that's not why, but it's fun to think that he did. And earlier he said that he specifically chose this house over another one because it had a big garden just in case she came back into his life. So clearly she doesn't know him as much as she thinks he does. She does. So her mom remembers him. Her mom's so sweet. Her mom said that one time she caught them and hugged him, and he hugged her, and like the words don't want to come out of my mouth, right? They're getting married now? What? I'm gonna fall off the bed. 2 years. It's been 2 years. Okay. I'm about to read his vows to Lily, and I think I'm gonna squeal really loud. Is there any glass in my room that might break? I wonder if Ryle's coming to her wedding. I would assume not. It's disappointing if you really sit and think about why vows exist. If we trusted everyone to keep their word, vows wouldn't be necessary. People would fall in love, and they'd stay in love, faithfully forever at the end. But that's the issue, I guess. We're people. We're human, and humans can sometimes be disappointing. I just put on, like, my I'm reading this for someone voice, which apparently I have. This is, like, the weirdest, most minimal annotating I've ever done. But I want to read It Ends With Us and, like, actually annotate it someday, and I think I'll do the same thing with this, but probably next year. I love that in his vows, he's talking about the number of vows that are broken. So romantic, dude. Wow. They're having their honeymoon in Europe like she wanted. He's such an optimist and glass half full kind of guy. Maybe the idea of love ending being a negative thing is a simple matter of perspective. Because to me, the idea that a love the idea that a love came to an end means that at some point there was love that existed. Hello, yellow highlighter. Would you like to highlight something for me? Thank you. We're on our last few pages. I'm so close to ending. This guy is so cheerful. He's like, pessimistically speaking, we could break each other's hearts again tomorrow. I know we won't, but even if we did, I vow that I will be immensely grateful for the love that led to that heartbreak until the day I die. So he's like, pessimistically, we could break each other's hearts. But if we do, I'm going to be thankful that there was a heart to break, or whatever. I'm like, that's not being pessimistic. If that's your version of pessimistic, then you're the most optimistic person I've ever met. If it's my destiny to end up a statistic, there's no one else I'd rather become a statistic with than you. How romantic. The spine hasn't even cracked yet. I'm so happy with that. I just finished. Oh. Full review in a moment. Just let me sit in this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm going to set this up so that you are at a better height, so that I'm not looking down. Now I feel like I'm back in school in 2021. This book, this novel by Colleen Hoover, the sequel to this other novel by Colleen Hoover. Is it okay? Please let it be okay. This thing is my lifeline. Good Lord, is it okay? Do we have any scratches? I don't even care. Okay, the back looks a little, whew, good Lord, okay, everything's fine. I just got that on camera. I'm like hyperventilating right now. Welcome to the review portion of this video, where I just accidentally dropped my laptop off the pillow it's propped on, onto the ground, and then proceeded to have a panic attack. We're going to talk about this novel. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. The sequel to this novel, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I'd also like to mention, I don't feel like these books look like they go together. I liked it. I didn't mind this book. I enjoyed it. I felt like the beginning was quite slow and a little repetitive. I felt like, for example, her daughter Emerson, or Emmy, she was mentioned a lot, but she didn't really, like, show up. We didn't really interact with her. And I did notice that we didn't really get any one-on-one with Lily and Emmy, which I don't really know what that would look like because she is a 1-year-old throughout most of the story, or all of the story. But still, seeing maybe some of the personality of Emmy, I felt like we were kind of missing that. Because I know I was like, so much of this is based on her relationship with her daughter, but a lot of the book is just her handing her daughter off to someone else, saying she misses her daughter, and then going off. Like, Emmy and Ryle were like this looming presence over the beginning that nothing really happened with for like the first 15 chapters. The Ellen letters coming back, if I had just read It Ends With Us, I think I could have skipped reading those old ones, but I had to read them because I hadn't just read It Ends With Us. But if you had, that would probably be really annoying, and because that would be repetitive. Now, Atlas and Lily, I do ship them. I think they're cute. I think I'm going to give this book 4 stars. I want to know why other people dislike it. I'm going to FaceTime Chelsea now to find out why she didn't like it. I didn't mind it. I'm sure I might have just been blinded by the fact that I read the entire thing in 6 hours, but like, I don't know what there was wrong with. If you liked It Ends With Us, I'd recommend reading it. It definitely had less sex and domestic abuse, but that might be why I liked it, because it seemed a little fluffier. And what I've been craving recently for reading is a fluffy romance. That's my opinion on that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Definitely, if you didn't watch it, go check out my It Ends With Us reading blog. I also have one on the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And comment down below if there's any other books you would like me to do a reading vlog on, or other videos you'd like to see. And come back next week for another video, bookish or otherwise. Anyway, bye!